Hey Dagny, Pedro Giraudo here, answering your questions. Number one, why and when did you decide to play tango music? Well, it was not so much a decision that I made, but something that gradually happened to me. I am originally from Argentina and I moved to New York to study jazz. But then, slowly but surely, I started getting calls to play tango, in spite of the fact that I didn't know much about the style and how to play it on the bass. And the more I played it, the more I fell in love with it, and the more, of course, I took it seriously and studied the music more and more deeply, and I'm still doing that. Number two, how did you study your craft? Well, my craft in general, as a bass player slash composer, arranger, kind of in a formal way, I did, being a student at Manhattan School of Music as an undergrad in the jazz performance, and I did my master's at City College, where I actually was privileged enough to be able to study with Ron Carter, the jazz bass living legend. And but this, of course, is part of it. There was, of course, a lot of self-taught, information, and it's still something that I do fairly intensely. Right now, for example, I'm taking excellent composition classes with a professor in Buenos Aires, at times even twice a week. So it's a continuous goal. Do you have a favorite orchestra or decade? Of course, I assume we're talking about tango, and it depends for what. I mean, if I'm strictly listening to music, I guess if I had to choose, I mean, if I was forced to make a decision, I would go with the orchestra of Osvaldo Pugliese in the late 50s, early 60s. And if I was dancing, on the other hand, I would go with Di Sarli in the 40s. Do you have a favorite song to play? Of course, this is kind of an impossible question to answer. But once again, if I was forced to, lately, I've been enjoying very much playing the piece by Astor Piazzolla called Resurrección del Ángel, or Resurrection of the Angel. For a few different reasons. First of all, and something that I admire Piazzolla as a composer strictly, not as a performer, but the fact that he can express so much with so little. I mean, if you listen to the beginning of that piece, it's actually incredibly simple, yet very charged emotionally. And also the piece has a very wide dynamic and emotional range. It goes from very intimate moments and some very kind of extroverted and loud, and I mean, the word is not obvious, but really in your face. So if I had to choose one, yeah, it would be Resurrección del Ángel. What is your favorite thing to do when not playing? Well, I have a few. Of course, spending time with the family. And in terms of something more kind of self-centered, I somewhat recently started boxing, and that's something that I love doing, which I also mix somewhat with my family because I've been going there with my 15-year-old daughter, and that's one of my favorite things lately. What is your favorite food? Well, of course, it depends on the occasion. If winter, Argentine locro is one of my favorite dishes, and actually one that I cook to my own pleasing. And then in general, for example, when I tour, I love to be in Japan. I love all the food there. It's pretty incredible and also very healthy. So Mexican food too, I find that very flavorful. What is your performance pet peeve? I actually had to Google that. I didn't know what it means, but it seems to me that something that annoys me a lot. And I guess if I had to choose one, it would be when the sound, meaning the sound amplification, is not good, which is actually most times. And that's why every single time that I can play without amplification, I take the opportunity and play acoustically. But yes, that actually has an ability to get on my nerves. What is your favorite drink? So I guess for the last 5 to 10 years or so, I've been really exploring the realm of cocktails. This actually started in Japan, where I had the most delicious martini that I had ever had, and trying to do it at home, I discovered that it was done very much the old-fashioned way, meaning kind of equal parts of, in this case, vodka and vermouth. That later on, I played in a few excellent kind of cocktail bars, and I kind of explored the whole Manhattan. Drinks with all their different variations, Perfect Manhattan, Little Italy, Red Hook, the Brooklyn, and then lately, actually, I guess if I had to choose one drink, it would be the Vieux Carré, this kind of traditional drink from New Orleans, that, I mean, it's somewhat similar to a Manhattan, but somewhat richer.